Hey, this is Brice here with WP, and what I wanted to talk about this morning is I just got back from Las Vegas. It was a great weekend. Was with the girlfriend, and what I wanted to talk about is really the number one things that I would tell you how to get better with girl. And that was a question I was just asked this morning, so I thought oh, that's actually a really great point. I have only one thing to summarize and distill with all the years of practice, hanging out with Jeff, hanging out with so many coach and getting good with girl, was this thing. So check this out. There's probably a million things that I could say because it's very confusing world. You look online and you're gonna find so many coach, so many different strategy. They teach you how to net girls back in the days. They teach you how to be confident, improve your communication using gambit and psychology. But all that is great. But I think to my view, after all this time, the number one thing that is key that you need really to have, if it was only one thing, is being bluntly honest. If you're not honest with a girl that you're gonna approach, you're gonna lose immediately. Let's put it this way, it's over before you even seen. And one of the reasons is they are equipped better to that. They know immediately some BS. They know immediately how the vibe is. They know immediately. They are the best at recognizing incongruence. So if you come up with bunch of lie, bunch of fake surface, you immediately get rejected by default, because they don't want that. They hate that. Since they are little girl, they have been lied, they have been tricked and manipulate. And you'll be surprised, being brutally radical honesty. You start your first interactions, your first opening, you see a pretty girls and you go straight up, not going indirect, go actually direct and start for yourself. By the way, this is something that we do every weekend on bootcamp. We just really rewire the brain, of our student client, and they get amazing results. But and you can look up on the link here if you're interested in a bootcamp with me and Jeff. You're gonna really have everything changed from there. But going back to what they're good at is definitely, from evolution standpoint, they have been really equipped better to feel the vibe immediately. They don't need to see you coming. They already know how you're coming across, way further than you can possibly think. And being honest is also being honest with yourself. I was told that question, but I would say if you can be honest with yourself first, evaluating where you at on that journey, evaluate your own skill set, how are you gonna be able to communicate that honesty? There's just no way. So ask yourself first, am I really honest? And trust me, honesty is the hardest things that I ever done in my life, because outside of my own work, working in big corporate where honesty is not the place to be. You really don't want to be honest in this environment. But I promised to myself that outside of that, I would be starting being honest from the day I'm out of my work until I work. I'm just 100% honest. And sometimes it's tough. Sometimes you don't want to do it because it's a lot easier. It's the path of least resistance. You wanna kind of camouflage a little bit, what you say. You don't want to hurt feeling. You don't want to be impolite. You don't want to come across too brutal, too forward. And that's something that you're gonna have to change. If you really want to change how you're getting perceived by people, by girls, by your peer group in general. You gotta start being honest. A huge foundation book that I read back then was like Radical Honesty. That was the book who really changed completely my mindset about game and really coming across and communicating to a girl that I was attracted to her. You'll be extremely surprised like the reaction you're gonna get. Sure, you're gonna get like really big blown out, sure, but you're also gonna get like the best relationship, whether it's like short, in my case maybe 6 months, sometimes just one night, sometimes it's a week. It doesn't really fucking matter. Like, to me, the foundation of a relationship is honesty, whether it's like a time period that is like whatever, you know, is good for the girl and you, that's fine. They're completely fine, but you can't really lie about that. You can't really lie like, oh, I'm this like player and now we're gonna have a long relationship, and the other way around doesn't work either. So think about that today. Think about, am I really honest? And again, it's a daily practice, being right now in front of YouTube and talking about honesty. And that's just something that just came. I was just talking on the cab, on the Uber, and he asked me, Brice, let me ask you. He was extremely interested in what I was doing, being with Jeff, like an icon, you know, in the industry. It was, what is the number one things? And I'm gonna repeat myself, just being honest, man. Being honest with yourself and start being honest with girls, and you'll see like everything's gonna start shifting from there. So one thing that you can be doing as soon as possible, like once you're done with like, I'm gonna be honest, is evaluate where you are and think about like what would be the best things to do to improve where you are. Well, if you're really honest with yourself and you like, okay, I suck maybe, or maybe I'm just average, I'm not like that great, well, you know where to find us. So click the link below and we'll help you with that. That's as simple as that. So until next time, from PB, this was Brice. Peace.